Hello, 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 everybody who's coming in. I can see some. Here we go. Hi, how's it going? Happy 2025. Who can believe it? Excited to kick off the new year with you guys. So I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on over on the other side here. I can see the chat happening. Here we go. Awesome. Great to be here with you guys. Absolutely great. So we've got a couple of minutes till actual start time. So we'll give a few people some time to get on. In the meantime, I'd love for you to either unmute or drop into the chat. What was the most exciting thing over the Christmas New Year for you? Did you have a good time? I got to chase lots of grandkids, so that was really cool. Got lots of cuddles. Yeah, family and friends catch-ups. Yeah, it's awesome. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's really good. Nice to be able to get it all happening. Here we go. Here's some more coming in. Awesome. Here we go. I have to remember to kind of keep an eye over there as well. Yeah, it's just so lovely. It's a lovely time of the year. I love, it's kind of like a hush season nearly between that kind of Christmas and New Year where you have the bits to do, but really you don't know what day of the week it is. You don't know what you're eating. It's kind of like, it's a really fun time to kind of get lost in just being, so, which is beautiful. Awesome. Okay, we just got another little, I'll give people another 10, 20 seconds and then we'll get ourselves started for today. Alrighty, well, I'm going to get, so yeah, and also I'd love for you just to pop in, where are you coming in from too, just as well. I love knowing where I'm talking to around the country, around Australia, New Zealand, and sometimes overseas. We never know. Alrighty. Okay, well, I am going to Greymouth. I've been to Greymouth. Melbourne, awesome. Is it still raining down there? No? Oh, sunshine. Oh, right, okay. I landed there on the way back from Tassie on Monday and it was bucketing down. Cairns will be up there this year actually. This year, we're now in 2025, up to Cairns, which is gorgeous. Brisbane, Mungindi. Okay. I probably did not say that right, Marcy, did I?
No, Mungandai.
Mungandai, there we go.
I definitely didn't pronounce it right when I first said it either.
I love it. Don't you love it? Whereabouts is it?
On the Queensland border.
Oh, up near the border. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
some of it's in Queensland, some of it's New South Wales.
Right, yeah. Okay. All righty. Hey, Kat, how's it going? Awesome. Here we go. More people are popping in now. There we go. Starting to fill up now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'll keep a little eye here as well. Great to see you all. Hey, Simone. Hey, Paula. Hey, Marcy. Katriana. Shona. Cara. Who else have we got on here? Chantel. Fee. Actually, I'm gonna make you co-host so you can help me bring people in. And that. Here we go. Alrighty, because I am going to get us started. Oh, thank you, Sam. I put the lippy on for you. Just let's go. Here we are. Awesome. All right, well, let's get started. I am so honored, actually, to be here with you guys today as we kick off the Soulful Women coaching calls for 2025. Hard to believe that we're actually into 2025. In fact, I was chit-chatting with Kimberly earlier on. We were saying it's nearly payday already. So it's we're well into the month, which is super exciting. And it's just beautiful. I feel so blessed to be a part of our community. because I'm watching already just the beautiful, I'm just going to move some more here, just the just the way in which you've kind of started this new year. We get to be able to impact people right out of the gate. And so when the team asked me, well, what would I like to talk about? The title I put down was around From Success to Significance, and why making an impact is the key to success, longevity, and building a legacy business. And so why is that important to me? It was just one of those things that when I actually got that, my business changed. The hustle, the bustle, the everything else, it just changed in how I was able to show up for myself, for my family, for our business. And that's not to say that there's not hustle and there's just a different flow about it when when your mental focus is going somewhere else. So let me talk a little bit about what I mean around all of that, because again, significance can be actually seen as a bit of a negative word. You know, people kind of get a little bit of significance around themselves or whatever. But significance in this space, what I'm actually looking for is actually shifting that you are not just chasing after success. You're not just chasing after the almighty dollar, but you're actually chasing, you're in flow and working towards being of significance. So adding significance to other people's lives as well. There's actually a whole movement around this called the halftime movement as well. A lot of the times people wait till they are retired to actually be able to make a difference in life. They're so busy just in the chase and the grind and that they look later on. It might be something I do when I retire. What I love about what we get to do is we actually get to be able to make significance. We be able to make an impact on the journey as we go. So I want to kind of roll back there and just kind of speak into what I mean by around all of this. So when we spend time looking at ourselves, our wants, our needs, our desires, we can spend a lot of time also focusing on what we don't have. So we can really get caught up in the lack of what actually we have in our lives, rather than looking at and feeling really blessed around what we do have. So we can focus a lot on what we don't have. And now, please don't get me wrong. It is vital to know that we need to look at our essential needs first. So I am not saying that, striving for things is not important. Absolutely is. My first why was a side-by-side fridge freezer. So it was definitely around about the things early on in the piece. But when we start to look at what are the things that we need for survival, has anybody here heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Has anybody heard about that? Yep. Okay, I'm just going to share a screen for one tick, just so you can kind of see. I have a little picture here that you'll see a very side-on picture, as well as looking at yourselves probably, and that. But if you have not seen it here, Maslow's hierarchy of needs basically talks about, and this was actually designed originally, published back in, I think it was 1947. So it's been around for a long time. There has been some shifts to it, but really at the end of the day, most people agree that this is probably pretty common. And so when you look at the very bottom, it's the psychological needs, those food, shelter, warmth, water, sleep, all of those kinds of things, and you start to move up through it. I'll stop sharing that now because it's not a great copy on that one there. But basically, those things that when you actually start off, so even if we think about we start off in this business, many of us already have this as we come into it, but of course we need to make sure that we are taking care of those first things. We're blessed to live in a country where really, for the most part, those basic needs are taken care of for the majority of us. There is still if we look at the 80-20 rule kind of thing, there's probably still 20% of the people who suffer from homelessness, all of those things, don't have those actual basic needs. But for the most part, we do live in Australia and New Zealand, in countries where we actually do get to cover those things. So today's economy, though, can actually make that seem like it's harder. I don't know about you guys, but we flew back in from Tassie on Monday, went to a shop on the way home, came out with 2 bags of groceries, health, fruits and veggies and things like that to get us back into our habits early in the week. And it was $250. They were decent shopping bags, but there was nothing over kind of thing in there. Lots of nice healthy stuff that we all like to be able to have. So today's economy does make it that little bit harder, I think, to actually really look at how we do cover off on those needs. But for the most parts, we actually do. With our amazing business model, though, one of the things that we actually, get to be able to look at when it comes to some of these needs is the ability to be able to invite people on the journey with us. Because again, even if somebody is looking at just an extra few $100s, a month or a week, and that we know that we actually get to be able to help them with that. Okay, so that is one of the things I think that is really important, and it was one of the things that started to shift for me. So from my early days in this profession, if we needed something in our household, so for example, it could be something as simple as the boys needing some soccer boots, or Karen needing something for netball or performance or whatever like that, I would take control of that. I would look at, okay, what can I do within my business? So can I go and get a new customer? Can I sign up a new team member? What can I do to actually be able to take care of that? And so that would actually put me back in control of that. Like I said, one of the very first goals that I actually had was a side-by-side fridge freezer. And so I was very quickly able to make that happen. So for me, it was being able to initially, and for some of you may still be in this position, where you are initially just taking care of the basic needs. Okay, you're taking care of the very, very basic needs for what you need to do. Maybe to be able to pay some bills, maybe to be able to help with the mortgage, etc. But those initial basic needs are around, just being able to eat and all the rest. Once I learned, though, that once the initial needs were taken care of, as we move up through that ladder, through safety and security, love and belonging, what I noticed was the community that I had become a part of, as being part of my direct selling journey, being on my journey, actually provided that in bucket loads for me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have heard of so many stories over the years, and especially during that kind of pregnant pause we had to have in the world, where this community was actually one of the safe havens, where they felt that they could lean in to be able to find that, I suppose, that security, that community that actually helped them to be able to, I suppose, stay sane, really. There was a lot of that around that. So I think that again is really important, that we actually get to be able to do that. As you continue to move up in Maslow's theory, the next is self-esteem. So this covers confidence, recognition, and respect from others. Again, I don't know about you guys, but how many of you would agree that when you actually look at this community, when you actually look at what you can do, if we think about these early levels, our initial needs can be taken care of by the monies that we're actually able to create from our business. It doesn't have to be massive amounts. It's enough to be able to make a difference. Those next needs of safety, community, recognition, self-esteem, all of those kinds of things, again, can also be met through what it is that we get to do. Would you agree with me, or is that just me thinking that? Yeah? You agree? Yeah, cool, awesome. Because again, sometimes we can take for granted what it is we actually have here, what we actually have in our hands. Sometimes on those hard days where you've gotten too many no's, or you've had a cranky customer, or something hasn't gone quite according, we can look at all of the negatives. We can be looking at what's going wrong in our lives rather than what's going right. And I think this is really important to be able to kind of come back to. So if you can kind of see a theme happening here, that by playing full out and engaging in our amazing community, you actually get to be able to fulfill those first few levels in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if we're using that as a model. The top principle then around self-actualization is really where it explains around the need for personal growth, fulfillment, and realizing one's potential. Again, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but again, if we think about our community, we think about our business model, we think about our product programs, all of those things can actually be assisted there. If you think about the calls that you get to have, the communities that you get to be able to be a part of when it comes to maybe coaching and training, the personal development that is shared within our community as well. Literally, I could put all of those needs down and go tick, 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 tick. Again, it's like sometimes it is about reminding ourselves of what it is that we actually want to be a part of. And I want to argue that true fulfillment comes from actually impact. So, at the very top of that, they talk about fulfillment and that. And what I really kind of want to argue in here, and what I've noticed over, my years, I've been 42 years in this industry, 32 years full time. I'm about to turn 60 this year. So I've been around the blocks just a little while kind of thing. And what I have realized is that in every trial, tribulation, the ups, the downs, the roller coaster of life and business, this community has sustained me. It has absolutely sustained me. In fact, it has made me the person that I am today. And by virtue of that, my kids, the people that they are today, and now as I am a true network marketer and now duplicating and replicating, my grandkids will be impacted by the flow-on effect of what we actually have within here. So if we look at then true fulfillment coming from impact, the ability to impact other people's lives as well as our own is actually paramount. I don't know about you, and I'd love for any of you to share or put it into the chat. Have you ever seen, how proud are you when your child, your grandchild, whatever, does something pretty cool, like does something exciting, like they've gotten a promotion, they got recognized at school, they just did something really cool, they were kind, they were, you're so proud, aren't you? How many of you also get that feeling when you see one of your team members being recognized on a reco? I mean, Mel, you were lighting up, I think it was yesterday in the Bali chat thing. You were probably more excited for teamies than what you were for yourself. And that, I have a story where I literally remember climbing over chairs, and I was around about 7.5 months pregnant. I was like a beached whale. It was number 3, it was Daniel, and I was just ginormous with that child. I am climbing over chairs. Some of my teammates were looking at me going, what are you doing? But one of my team had just been recognized in the tops at a conference that we were at. And I had no care for myself really, but I was so excited because I also knew what she'd gone through to get there. So the excitement, the impact, that small impact that I got to be able to make in her life, and seeing her light up and seeing her on stage, it was literally like she was one of my own babies. And to be honest, my team probably, all of you guys, you really are my babies. And that too. I just, love it. It is nothing more exciting. It's so emotional. Absolutely, Mel. It's so emotional. And I watch and I listen to many of your stories. And see you being recognized, and that is the thing that kind of really just lights me up. It's the reason why I get out of bed and come to work every day, why we continue to show up. So if we think about that, then if true fulfillment comes from how we can impact others, what is it that we can actually do? So I kind of made some little notes down here because I love impact comes in all sorts of ways. Okay, firstly, impact is from you living up to your potential and moving up through those hierarchy of needs. Why is that important? Because when you fulfill your potential, and believe you me, many people die with their potential completely intact. They do not fulfill it. And there's nothing more sad than watching someone who has the potential to be able to make a difference in their lives and the lives of others not fulfill it. Now, that's their journey. Everybody's on their own journey. But I'm talking to each one of you guys individually and continually to myself as well. If I know I can, then I should. And the reason being is, as I fulfill my potential, I am directly impacting the lives of those around me. You are always being watched, whether it's your children, your grandchildren, people around you. I'm often surprised, and I'm sure you guys are too. You share something maybe on social media and you think nobody's been watching or whatever, and suddenly you'll get a message out of left field going, oh my gosh, you just inspired me with what you do. Or, they'll make a comment or whatever like that. They haven't seen it. In that moment, they're not just making a comment on social media. I want you to kind of get that as well. It took them, because you literally stopped the scroll For them to stop, watch, and comment, you've made a little impact on their lives. And you don't know what that impact is. You don't know that they've been having a really crappy day, and something you've done has made them smile, has just lit a little light within them. So by you first and foremost living up to your potential, you are sharing these little, who did chemistry at school? You remember the Bunsen burners? And they'd have the little light, and then you could turn them up, and it was this blue flame light that could literally burn anything, whatever. The vision I always have in my head, by me living up to my potential, by me getting up this morning and going for my walk, even though I was blowing a gale or whatever like that, by someone seeing those little things, those little differences that we make, you reaching out or sharing a recipe or sharing a post or recognizing somebody else or sharing a win, whatever it might be, you living and reaching your potential. What I visualize in each of that is that we actually get to start to light these little Bunsen burners in everybody. We start to light this little flame of possibility. Because if they can see it in you, you can help them see it in themselves. And it could be somebody just watching from a distance, you don't know. So what I would say to you is it's really important that you, first and foremost, to move from success to significance is first of all, make a choice today to live up to your potential. If at any stage you are playing small, do not play small. Do not put your light under a bushel, okay? Stand out in your glory, okay? Because everybody is lovable, valuable, and okay? And literally can handle anything that comes their way, okay? So it's really important for you to be able to go. Secondly, okay, so when I look at that, so basically you start to live a life on purpose. You will help other people to live a life on purpose. You really will. So you get to model for everybody that's watching. Secondly, is where when I finally came to the realization that it actually wasn't all about me. And I don't know if I've got any, I think my daughter might be watching on here, but anyhow, I did realize at one stage, Cara, it wasn't all about me. As in Irish, we say May Fain, me, myself, and I kind of thing. It's all about me. And at the beginning, it is. Like I said, on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, those bottom two are around the basic needs: food, shelter, safety, all of those kinds of things. Absolutely they are. And some of you, as I said, may still be in that situation where there are things that you're actually needing to provide for yourself. But once you're out of there, it really, Cara is on here, then it was all about me and the grandies. Absolutely. I wasn't going to say anything, Cara, but now that you said it, yes, it's definitely all about you and now all about the grandies. But yeah, but when you actually start to move from those areas, now you might find that what you start to notice is as you've been coming out of what you've been growing out of. So what I know my heart breaks for is I watch people who are still in the situation where they don't have the blessings that we have. So you might find that your heart aches for victims of, say, for example, domestic violence, homelessness, youth at risk, online bullying, different health challenge categories like childhood cancers, etc. Once you have actually moved from, okay, Mayfain, it's all about me, it's all about my safety, it's all about my food, water, shelter, all of those kinds of things, you start to move into growing your self-esteem and all the rest and stepping into your potential. What you can start to see is how many people don't have access to what we have access to. How many people actually right now in your sphere of influence that are watching you, that are in your ability to be able to impact, actually are in situations where they don't have that. In my 42 years here, I have seen it all. I've seen it all come through. My team early on when I was in the field, I remember one time, Viv, I still remember it as if it was only yesterday, and it's probably about 23 years ago now, I would say. And she stood in front of me. We'd done a sales meeting. It was a Tuesday night down in Hobart. And she stood in front of me, and there's tears flowing down her face. And I said, Viv, what's wrong? What's going on? And she just said, thank you. And I said, what? And by this stage, I'm kind of welling up as well. She says, this is the first year I've been able to buy my kids new toys for Christmas. Every other year up till then, she had gone to the Vinnies or the Vincent de Paul or whatever that to be able to get stuff for them or whatever. This is the first time that she'd actually been able to buy new toys. One of the other girls, she'd always wanted to buy, and this will date me, but she'd always wanted to buy her parents a DVD player. And she'd been able to go and buy a DVD player. These may not seem like big things, but oh my gosh, when you're standing and you're watching women who have felt unsafe in the situation that they were living in, to be able to, I remember one lass, her business, this is in the South Island of New Zealand, when we lived in Christchurch, her business was actually able to take her and her 5 children and relocate them to safety on the North Island. They're the things that you get to impact because you go first. Christy, I was able to go buy my mum some beautiful new shoes to wear to my sister's funeral. You know? Wow. Wow. They can seem like some small things. These are the things that are actually in your hands. When you go, it's not about me. Yes, I will take my... The thing is, the more impact you make, the more successful you actually are. God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, I just believe that God just continuously leans into when we're prepared to actually go, it's not about me, how can I support someone? I've seen people mentally be supported because of this community during the hardest of times. And why? Because somebody was brave enough to invite them to have a closer look. I was brave enough to invite people because I remembered what this had done for me. Are you brave enough to do that? Then, of course, as we continue to build our business and we do help others and we're impacting more and more, the thing that happens there is then we get the ability to be able to then give from time, treasure, and talents. So early on, oftentimes, the impact we get to make is through sharing our products, helping people get healthier. Okay, your health is your wealth, my dad always would say. Okay, through inviting them to join our business and then come into our community, because joining our business is not just about them coming and making some money. Joining our business is actually about them coming into this community of support, this community of love, this community of impact. So it's not just, you're not just helping them make a few extra dollars, you are helping them change their lives. I used to say to people, if you join my team, your life will be changed. Whether you're here for a little time or a long time, your life will be changed. And so many of them said to me, whether they stayed for a little or a long time, they said, you were right, my life has been changed. Because we get to be able to see our value when we are around people like this beautiful community. So when you move from me to we get to create power and legacy. When we move from me to we create duplication and replication. No worries, Mercy. Your impact multiplies, and with it, your reach and success. So when you take that little shift and you go, it's not just about me, it's about we now. How can we make a difference? Okay, so I'm going to invite somebody else into this circle so that me can become we, and together we're going to be able to make an impact. Your impact multiplies. We don't do it because of that, but what happens is we create, and I always trip over this word, reciprocity. There we go. Reciprocity, which is the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefit. So it becomes the circle and the cycle of impact with you as the catalyst. So each of you, I want you to get that each of you are the catalyst for impact. We're the catalyst for health change. If we think about it, when we share our product, we know our product is most definitely the catalyst for bridging the gap in people's lives. Our business becomes the catalyst in maybe earning that extra little bit of income for them, and it helps break a gap, a much bigger gap, because they might come in thinking they want to earn a bit of money, But how many of you came in thinking you wanted to earn a bit of money and have just received so much more than that? You know, like that it's not just about the dollar anymore. It's actually about so much more when we think about it. So I suppose my question for you as a kind of, you know, as we think about all of this is, are you prepared to be brave enough to move the focus from me to we? What does that look like for you? Okay. So who could you invite then to have a closer look at the programs and products to create a health impact, to create a money impact? Who could you look at the business opportunity to be able to make a financial impact? What small charity could you nominate for our monthly giving? We deliberately, in our charity program, we deliberately decided that we weren't wanting to go after one big charity, okay, and partner with them. We deliberately want to make a difference in communities, in small communities. So we deliberately look for you to nominate charities that are making a difference in your communities. Those ones that maybe don't get a lot of money and don't get all of the big advertising, the big kudos. Those, you know, few $1,000s that we're able to donate each month make a massive difference. Last year, I can't remember what the end result was. Karen might know on here, but you know, between product and cash and that, it was over 100,000 that we were able to donate last year. That makes a difference in people's and the stories we hear. I can't wait for Beck to kind of get back on board. I want to go back and actually revisit some of the beautiful charities we were able to impact and get some more of the stories, but the stories that we get to be able to hear. Who can you nominate for the Healthy Starts grants? Okay, each month, again, we want to be able to try and help children, help children to actually, you know, whether that's sport or whether it's an activity that they do. Again, following on from Healthy Starts as a program, we want to actually be able to invest into children's lives, something that's going on for kids that will actually impact them. Whether that is a program we've had, you know, we had the little lads who couldn't play in a regular basketball team, and they started their own little basketball team, and we were able to sponsor them for that. And we've had kids who've gone on running, you know, championships and things like that. And we've been able to help towards the cost of that because we know how hard those things are. Who could you nominate for that? Who can you be watching out and listening for that actually could make a difference as well? All of this creates a difference. Are you prepared to embody the spirit of Juice Plus? And if you know, each year we started a couple of years ago, the Spirit of Juice Plus Award, where we see people giving back, whether that's to this community, to other communities or whatever like that. And then our part, what do we do here to be able to support you? Well, I'm going to share with you guys something that I shared with the APAC leaders, because when I was away, I was really praying into this and really meditating on how can we impact even more in 2025. What did it do? So there we go. Thank you, Cara. She got the dollar amount exactly, 103,082. Well, I actually want to triple that. So when I was praying on this and meditating, series of threes kept coming through. So I don't know if anybody's in this and if it's a bit too woo-woo for anybody or whatever like that, but just bear with me for a moment. Because what kept coming through was 3,333. And it was just like all of these things. And so what it actually came through was, I kept seeing these 3,333 active partners with $6,000 worth of sales over the year. That's only $500 a month. That's outside of just their own order, but actually selling Juice Plus, going and inviting people to actually come on Juice Plus. $500. It's one of our bundles really a month. Okay, this is what just doing that would do. That would actually enable us to donate, get this, $333,000 a year to the impact programs. So I actually reached out to a friend. I can see Shona saying she loves numerology. So I reached out to a friend of mine who studies numerology. She's also on a faith journey with me as well. So we have lots of conversations around numerology and faith and what it all means. So this is what she came back. So she said to me, "Hey, beautiful. Yes, the magic of threes. 3 is about will and self-expression. It's also the bringing of something into creation. There is magic in threes. It's positive, uplifting, and optimistic. It brings a playful message of well-being and signals a new life is beginning now. Alana Fairchild says it speaks of the bringing together of apparently different things and creating harmony so that something new can happen. When 3 features in a number pattern, the harmony and unity manifest in a physical, emotional, mental, or even spiritual level. 3 brings more life, more energy, increase in creative self-expression. 3 with other numbers usually means a healing is taking place. 333 is a beautiful vibration. Something deep within is about to click. It's a sign from ascended masters that they want to help you. Ask. I ask for help from ascended masters who love me unconditionally. The multiple 3 energy also relates to the concept of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, which is the triple aspect of divinity. When multiple 3s arise, you're getting a big hello from the divine in all its forms, heavenly intervention. You are being given a message, coming to wholeness and wellness. Ask for help, bring it to play. So I'm sharing this because what I see as I look forward, when I look at us all, each individually moving from success to significance, is the impact that we can make together. By literally, first and foremost, I invite each one of you to step into your potential. Because by just doing that, as I said at the very beginning, you will impact your immediate family. If you've got children, they are watching you. If you've got grandchildren or nieces or nephews or other people in your life, they are watching you. By you stepping in fully to who you were created to be, and I believe that there are no accidents. God makes no accidents. You are here for a reason right now, in this time. And I also believe that the world needs us right now to be stepping into our potential. Absolutely, ask and it shall be given. So I would encourage you to do that. Then as you choose to move from me then into we, I'm going to ask you, who else can you invite on the journey? Who can you bring on this journey? Whether that's from a health perspective, a financial perspective, a charity perspective, who else is it that you can bring on the journey? So that together we can achieve this goal of 3,333 partners doing $500 a month and us being able to then donate over $333,000 to charities and organizations that absolutely need what it is that we've got to give from time, treasure, and talents and that. So that's from success to significance from my perspective. I hope that it's added some value to you in some way. Again, I feel really honored to be able to share this with you. And I just feel blessed to be on the journey that we are on together. And I hope that you are wanting to link arms and go, okay, A, I'm going to step into my own potential, but B, I am determined that 2025 is the year I move from success to significance. And believe you me, on the other side of that again is even more success for you, because you will be given more. When much is given, much is expected. But when you do good, you will be given more to be able to even multiply your efforts. So thank you all so much. Appreciate each and every one of you. If anybody's got any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to come off mute and ask or whatever like that. But otherwise, have a beautiful rest of your day. Good loves. Mwah. Thank you all. You're all gorgeous.